Yeah, that is the overview, because the essence of the rating agencies is to attest to the entity, business entity, or the country in terms of your classification for doing business, in terms of global assets, in terms of foreign direct investments, and in terms of transparency and deepening the capital market. So if these institutions that give you that attestation of your good standing and your capacity to meet your obligations have contrary opinions, of course, that will be a big worry to the state or the business entity, its ability to attract the right foreign direct investments into their various businesses or financing into government infrastructure projects and other related ones. So that is the biggest concern. And it is clear in the concerns of the access to the euro bond market and how that stream of income that used to come to support government's operations has been impaired, and the consequences as we see going forward. So yes, it is very critical to government, and so it is critical to private sector operators. And I did state in one particular concern that most bulk imports that get assistance or FDIs for imports, and I can mention fertilizer, you could go into the petroleum products, go into other bulk products like clinker and what they call soya beans. Most of these enterprises depend on their international partners. So if you are that exposed, if you even get good transactions going, your pricing will change in terms of your risks, because the ability of the enterprise to dispose of the goods and get the dollars and repatriate to the funding agencies are all within the context of the country's risks. And therefore, it is very critical to an entity that is doing big business. That look, once the country has been downgraded, these implications
we can say in the common parlance that we became used to or familiar with, I think it was 2015 thereabout, when government was saying we were talking down the economy, and the things we say, even as we sit on radio discussing the economy, have an impact on the economy itself. This is what Fitch and these rating agencies are doing. Is that what it is? And what can be done about that?
Okay, so in that space, when you listen carefully to the Fitch report, and on the economy, they gave it a negative outlook. And the said negative outlook comes with such implication as I'm explaining. In the case of talking down on the economy, where speculators are then driving the exchange rate dynamics, there is an element where we believe that at some stages, the extent of the dramatization and sensationalism could play a part in talking down the economy. But today, the reality and the evidence is everywhere that you can see that the rate at which the depreciation is going on, the rate of which pricing is going on, the real impact at the port of entry. When you go to Tema Port, in recent publication, the Director General indicated about 30% drop in bulk imports. That is evidence. When you chase it down to the institution like the buffer stock or the contractors, you realize that their bills are not being paid, and you could trace it to the inability of the institutions to raise funding to pay that. Those are hard evidence that you could see in the value chain, as against speculative issues. So these are very concrete issues on the ground.